Alright, so បាទសូមអធិស្ឋានផងបាញ់មិញហើយមានបញ្ហាចាឥឡូវខ្ញុំសាកល្បងសំឡេងជាមុនសិនតើស្ដាប់ឮអត់បាទសូមអធិស្ឋានបាទជួយប្រាប់ផងបើសិនជាស្ដាប់សំឡេងឮបាទអូខេ good alright អូខេបងបងឆាងសុងមិញយើងមានបញ្ហាក៏ដូចជាមួយបងស្រីផងដែរសូមស្វាគមន៍សាយថ្មីម្ដងទៀតមកកាន់នៅកម្មវិធីជួបជាមួយបងប្អូនយើងជាមួយនឹងលោកឆាងសុងដែលជាប្រធានសហប្រធាននៃក្រុមការងារសមត្ថៈនៃប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរនៅទីក្រុង Long Beach រដ្ឋ California ហើយជាពិសេសយើងមានវាគ្មិនពិសេសរបស់យើងគឺបងអូនស្រី Vanndearlyn Vong ដែលកំពុងតែឈរឈ្មោះជាបេក្ខជនឈរឈ្មោះជាគណៈប្រតិភូនៃប្រចាំតំបន់70នៃរដ្ឋ California ហើយវាមានសារៈសំខាន់យ៉ាងណាពាក់ព័ន្ធទៅនឹងពាក់ព័ន្ធទៅនឹងកិច្ចខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងរបស់លោកឆាងសុងឥឡូវនេះសូមលោកបងបន្តតាច់រឿងបន្តិចសិនឬក៏ត្រឡប់សារដើមបន្តិចទៅពាក់ព័ន្ធទៅនឹងកិច្ចខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងកិច្ចការរបស់បងបានធ្វើបាទព្រោះមិញហ្នឹងយើងមានភាពរអាក់រអួលផ្នែកបច្ចេកទេសបាទសូមអញ្ជើញ
បាទសូមអរគុណហើយជាពិសេសហ្នឹងក៏ខ្ញុំក៏សូមណែអរគុណទៅដល់ណែលោកវិបុលដែលខិតខំស្វាស្វែងទោះបីមានការលំបាកយ៉ាងណាដូចខ្ញុំបានពិភាក្សាជាមួយបងមុនហ្នឹងបន្តិចហ្នឹងគឺថាអត់ដរាបណាដែលយើងធ្វើអីទោះបីមានឧបសគ្គយ៉ាងណាក៏ដោយក៏យើងនៅតែបានជាអ្នកថាជាអ្នកធ្វើដែរបាទយ៉ាងណាមិញក៏ចង់ជំរាបទៅណែទៅដល់បងប្អូនដែលកំពុងទៅតាមដានហ្នឹងនៅកិច្ចការរបស់យើងដែលយើងបានធ្វើរយៈកន្លងមកហើយនៅក្នុងឆ្នាំ2018កន្លងមកនេះកិច្ចការសមត្ថៈសម្រាប់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរដែលខិតខំធ្វើនោះគឺមានចំណុចសំខាន់បាទចំណុចសំខាន់ធំមួយគឺសំថុកពីរបាទតែចំណុចមួយនោះគឺធំខ្ញុំចង់ណែជំរាបទៅដល់បងប្អូនថាចំណុចសំខាន់មួយនោះគឺថាយើងដឹងថាគេបំបែកយើងទៅជា4សង្កាត់មិនមែនតែមួយសង្កាត់ទេជា4សង្កាត់អញ្ចឹងបើសិនណាពេលណាអ្នកណាម្នាក់មកជំរាកផ្ទះរបស់យើងចែកជាចំណែកឬក៏ជំរាកក្រុមគ្រួសាររបស់យើងមានន័យថាសម្លេងរបស់យើងហ្នឹងវាបាត់បង់ដូច្នេះដែលយើងខំប្រឹងប្រែងនេះគឺថាយើងខំប្រឹងប្រែងទាមទារយកសិទ្ធិដើម្បីឲ្យគេបង្រួបបង្រួមគូសផែនទីថ្មីដើម្បីឲ្យយើងមានសម្លេងពិតប្រាកដរបស់យើងដើម្បីមូលហេតុមួយគឺថានៅការបោះឆ្នោតឆ្នាំ2020ខាងមុខនេះជាឆ្នាំសារៈសំខាន់បំផុតសម្រាប់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរយើងជាពិសេសគឺបងប្អូនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរដែលកំពុងតែរស់នៅទីក្រុង Long Beach នៅក្នុងតំបន់គេហៅថាតំបន់ទីក្រុងខ្មែរយើងហ្នឹងតំបន់សង្កាត់លេខ6បាទសង្កាត់លេខ6ពីព្រោះចំពោះបងប្អូនមួយចំនួនមិនថាបេក្ខជនណាទេដែលកំពុងតែត្រៀមលក្ខណៈខ្លួនហ្នឹងដើម្បីប្រឈមមុខនៅក្នុងការបោះឆ្នោតបោះសម្លេងជាបេក្ខជនយ៉ាងណាមិញបើសិនណាយើងអាចបង្រួបបង្រួមសម្លេងរបស់យើងឲ្យបានច្រើនបើសិនណាយើងឲ្យគេគូសវាសផែនទីថ្មីយើងបានឃើញថាចំនួនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរមានទៅដល់8ក្នុងចំណោមភាគរយហ្នឹងមិនមែនមានន័យថាអញ្ចឹងយើងមិនបាច់ត្រូវការសាសដទៃមិនមែនអញ្ចឹងទេបងប្អូនយើងត្រូវតែលំអិតតទៅទៀតហ្នឹងគឺមានន័យថាតើចំនួនបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងមានចំនួនប្រមាណដែលបងប្អូនអាចមានសិទ្ធិបោះឆ្នោតនោះអញ្ចឹងអង្គការសមត្ថៈខ្មែរក៏ដូចជាអង្គការនៃសម្ព័ន្ធខ្មែរអាមេរិកហ្នឹងគឺថាមានកិច្ចការច្រើនណាស់ដែលយើងត្រូវតែបន្តធ្វើគឺថាទី1គឺយើងត្រូវតែបន្តជំរុញឲ្យបងប្អូនខ្មែរចេះដឹងបាទមានគេហៅថាមានការសិក្សាអំពីសារៈសំខាន់នៃការបោះឆ្នោតបងប្អូនខ្លះគាត់ចង់បោះឆ្នោតតែគាត់អត់ដឹងថាតើគាត់ត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចនោះទី1ទី2បងប្អូនមួយចំនួនទៀតគាត់មានបានចូលជាសញ្ជាតិហើយក៏ប៉ុន្តែគាត់មិនដឹងថាតើគាត់ត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវតែរួបរวมគ្នាដើម្បីនឹងធ្វើកិច្ចការនឹងជាមួយគ្នាដើម្បីជំរុញបង្ហាត់វឹកវើឲ្យពួកគាត់គឺថាត្រូវចុះឈ្មោះត្រូវគាត់ចេះដឹងថាតើយើងត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចពីព្រោះថា អ្វីដែលសំខាន់គឺសំខាន់នៅប្រព័ន្ធឬក៏ចំណុចសំខាន់ដែលគេផ្ដល់ឲ្យយើងទៅតាមភូមិឋានបាទទៅតាមភូមិឋានដែលមាននៅក្នុងនោះដូចជាទីក្រុងឬក៏នៅក្នុងតំបន់អញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវមានកិច្ចការច្រើនដូច្នេះដើម្បីបញ្ចប់នៅក្នុងករណីមួយនេះគឺខ្ញុំចង់ជម្រាបទៅដល់បងប្អូនថាចំពោះបងប្អូនបេក្ខជនណាក៏ដោយដែលមានចំពោះខ្លួនគាត់ដែលយល់ឃើញថាគាត់មានលក្ខណៈពេញនៅក្នុងការស្វែងរកដើម្បីឲ្យបានឈ្នះនៅក្នុងជាតំណាងនៅឆ្នាំ2020ខាងមុខនេះគឺថាដាច់ខាតគឺបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងត្រូវរួបរวมសាមគ្គីគ្នាពីព្រោះនេះជាចំណុចសំខាន់មួយបើសិនណាយើងគ្មានបាទលក្ខណៈឬក៏មិនអាចឈ្នះនៅក្នុងឆ្នាំ2020យើងប្រហែលជានឹងអាចប្រឈមមុខនឹងការលំបាកតទៅថ្ងៃមុខជាយូរអង្វែងតទៅទៀតនេះជាកំហើញរបស់ខ្ញុំបាទអញ្ចឹងហើយបានថាអ្វីដែលយើងរៀបចំហ្នឹងគឺថាក៏វាអាចជាលក្ខណៈមួយដែលបាននាំមកនៅបាទនៅអ្វីដែលកើតមានឡើងដែលបន្តិចទៀតដែលលោកវិបុលហ្នឹងនឹងបានជម្រាបនៅវាគ្មិនដែលកំពុងតែប្រឈមមុខដើម្បីចូលជាតំណាងគណៈប្រតិភូតំបន់70ដើម្បីតំណាងរបស់គណៈបកប្រជាធិបតេយ្យបាទសូមអរគុណបងលោក
បាទអរគុណច្រើនលោកបងឆាងសុងបាទ we will talk more about the equity of Cambodians in Long Beach City, how it will be affect the whole community up there. Right now we turn to our new candidate for assembly delegate. Why are you running for that position? Right now we turn to our new candidate for assembly delegate. Why are you running for that position? I apologize. We don't hear you. Do you hear us? Okay. Do you hear me? We don't hear you. Okay. Okay. Could you start again? We still don't hear you. Okay.
Hello?
Okay, here we go.
Good.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I'm running for assembly delegate to make sure that the people and the issues that the California Democratic Party endorses reflect the needs of our Cambodian community here in Long Beach, as well as the needs of young people and people of color and of women. I represent a new voice and I bring new ideas to the Democratic Party, and so that is why I'm running to be an assembly delegate. I would like to represent the people.
Okay. Could you explain when the election will take place?
Sure. So the election, it's not like any regular election where you receive your ballot in the mail or you can vote all day. For this election, it's done caucus style, which means that you have to appear at the polling location on election day, which is located at 3888 Cherry Avenue at the Teamsters Local 848. And voting will take place from 10:30 in the morning to 12:30 p.m.
Okay, that's what do you need our community in Long Beach to help you?
Well, it would be great if you could just come and help me get out the vote. This election, it's not like regular campaigning where you're talking to strangers and trying to get them to vote. This is all about turning people out and making sure they come to vote on election day. So if you could organize a carpool with your family and friends to come vote, that would be very helpful. If you could just post my flyers on social media and let people know about it. I know some people from Cambodia have said they regret not being able to vote for me, but they've still been sharing my flyer around on Facebook, so that's been very helpful.
That sounds good.
May I
Can you
may I
tell
jump
us
in a
about?
little bit? May I jump in a little bit? Although I didn't see you on the screen, Mr. Vibol, because it's important. I want to add in for what your question that you just asked. Yeah, it is important. There's a couple things that our people in the community can help her, as well as the people who live in the city of Signal Hill, Long Beach, San Pedro, and the people of Catalina Island. Now, it is important. We don't need money. We don't need money at this point. All we need is that you show up that day to vote for her. To vote for her, it is important because I deeply believe that this election will set the path for the 2020 election. So, with that being said, I really do want our community to really understand, regardless. I know for the fact that many of you may not know Vanndearlyn very well. But I do know Vanndearlyn very well. I do know her family very well. So I encourage, in this particular case, I have nothing more than to encourage you, to ask you to believe in your leadership, to believe in somebody that you know. And in this case, I reach out to you. I want you to believe that, to believe me, to believe her family, because it's important that we need to put her in that position. And with that being said, we need your vote, and we also need volunteers, somebody who can volunteer us on that day. Thank you.
Okay. To add on that, Vanndearlyn, because it's you very new to us, new our to community. We understand in local you might be outspoken up there. Can you introduce yourself a little bit about your family, about your neighborhoods, about your childhood, where you come from, where your family come from?
Sure. My family comes from Cambodia. Your generation and my parents' generation had to live through the Khmer Rouge, and so that sort of sets the foundation for how our family was functioning, our economic means that we had available, how well my siblings were able to do in school, and it's the reason why I chose to get involved in politics. So growing up, I would hear stories from my mom about how she slept on skulls, and then I thought that was normal, until I sort of looked around and realized that the other kids around me weren't dealing with the same things. In terms of my family, I have 4 siblings that I love dearly, and they were all very encouraging when it came to college and taking rigorous AP courses. I did well in school because I had nothing else to do, and my mom had always pushed me to just get an education. So during my sophomore year of high school, I was in a place where I think a lot of teenagers, they're discovering who they are and identifying themselves. I started looking into our history as Cambodians. I learned about the genocide, and I was able to have a handle on the issues I was dealing with in terms of the intergenerational gap that existed between my mother and myself, the educational gap, why it was so hard for my siblings to attend college. They had no guidance, and of course, our mom was busy working all the time just to provide food on the table, and so it's not like she could have tutored them or anything in terms of school. And aside from that, there are also huge mental and I would say physical health problems that we had to deal with, because the people that did live to see the genocide don't really want to talk about it. And I understand that mental health in our community is something that we do not address at all. We just suppress it. So seeing that, how it affected my mother, and it also affected my siblings and I in terms of how we were able to deal with our emotions. So during my sophomore year of high school, I started volunteering in the community with the Khmer Parent Association, and then I started to get to know the other Cambodian organizations here in Long Beach. Eventually, I became a certified research assistant with the Cambodian Advocacy Collaborative. That is a collaborative between the Khmer Parent Association, Khmer Girls in Action, Cambodian Association of America, EM3, and Families in Good Health. So through that collaborative, we recognize the problems that exist in our community in terms of mental health, education, income, things like that. And we recognize that although Cambodians are also Asians, our experiences are very different from other Asian groups. So that is why it's important to gather data, hard data, so you could advocate for the community with elected officials. So I became a certified research assistant. I did these surveys in our community. They were 1 hour long, or like 45 minutes to 1 hour. I did over 100 of them, and it was very hard. I remember at one point I went to the Long Beach airport and I sat down along the palm trees to try to survey the taxi drivers because a lot of them are Khmer. So through those efforts, I saw that, okay, I can create change in our community and I can help us
That's
sort of
awesome.
live in, yeah, better conditions. After that, I expanded my scope a little bit. So last year, I interned with Councilwoman Lena Gonzalez's office. Great experience. I learned about how the city works. After that, I interned on a campaign for Roberto Uranga, and there I learned that he and his wife Tonya actually were very supportive of redistricting like a decade ago, but I don't think our community had the political will back then, unlike now. So I interned on his campaign. I interned with Josh Lowenthal in Orange County, and it was great to be able to work with the Vietnamese community there. And now I am working for Councilman Uranga at City Hall, and also running for this.
That's a wonderful long story and so achievable. That's great to hear, and I hope that our community in Long Beach understanding what needs and they have to stay engaged in community, especially in the election, because this if you engage and you don't show up at the poll, it means nothing.
So, it really doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Yes, everybody, please go out to vote on the day. Okay, let's go back to a little bit because I know you run this. Assembly delegates representative, and I think it's very important for you as a young woman, and we are as a Khmer American, we are proud of you. As a Cambodian American Alliance, we work across the state with many people. Most likely they worry about the freedom and democracy in Cambodia, and we try to engage with our elected officials in Congress as well as at our U.S. government, like State Department, and as well as policy writer. I'll go back to you. I know mostly many Cambodian people in Long Beach area, they worry, they really want to know about the affordable housing and how the affect in the community. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Maybe they can understanding about the affordable housing.
Sure. So actually, I want to bring up the recent elections we had this November 6th. So one of the propositions on the ballot for our whole state of California was Prop 10, and that would have repealed the Costa-Hawkins Act. Now that act was passed, and it severely limited how much cities could enact affordable housing policies. Unfortunately, Prop 10 did not pass, so most cities in our state right now cannot enact any form of rent control, and that's an impediment to creating affordable housing. For Long Beach, I know we have been talking about it a lot. Affordable housing and homelessness are very hot topics. They affect everyone, and I think they affect the longevity of our community, especially those that'll come behind me. I know that the city can have incentives for developers to include a certain percentage of affordable housing units in new developments, but I don't think that's enough. Um, I can't, I don't know what else to say about affordable housing. I know it's important to me. It affects the well-being of families, especially those that are lower income, because if you don't, like, you're either forced to sort of cram in with another family and split the rent, or you might even be forced to move, and then that affects your commute, that affects the schooling that your children receives, it affects work opportunities, and so it's a very hot issue here in Long Beach. I know our mayor and city council are working on it, but I don't have any solid policies to tell you about.
Okay, that's a wonderful. There's some audience, especially my Vice President of Cambodian American Alliance. He would love to ask you one question is, do you know what is the percentage of Khmer are in need of affordable housing?
I don't have a number for that, unfortunately, but I would venture to say it is a good amount of our community.
Okay. He asked another question. This is about your parent. Do you know how long your parent came over here? That's what he would love to know.
I believe they both came here in the early 80s. So
Okay.
Right after, yeah.
He also has some question. Another question is how your representative, your election, what does it mean to our community in Long Beach?
Okay. So for our community in Long Beach, it means representation in the Democratic Party. I know some of our community members are Republicans, which is totally fine, but having representation in the Democratic Party means that there's someone working in the party for you that understands what you went through. They understand what your children are going through now. They understand the problems that your family has to deal with because of the genocide. So that is where I fit in, and if successful this Saturday, I would make sure that I would keep engaging the community on what's happening with the Democratic Party, and that builds community engagement politically.
That's awesome. Now let me turn to Lục Bong Chang Song. We've been worked together a couple projects in the past, and I think we as a community in Long Beach, there's a little know about what you're doing relating to the redistricting in Long Beach City. And can you expand your explanation about what you're doing and how affect the community as a whole, and what will be affect in the future, and how our community, especially Khmer American in Long Beach City, to engage, to be more effective, to be more vocal, to be more voice about their concerns regarding affordable housing, regarding about health, regarding security. Could you elaborate on that?
Thank you, Bong. I like to start off with telling my brother and sister that, the old sayings that if you are not on the table, you're more likely on the menu. For the past 30 some years, that's exactly what happened to our community. We are on the menu all this time. What does that mean? It means that until we in the front line advocate for our community, and then we are able to bring the resource. You bring up a very important question. For the past, we have not been able to do exactly just that, and it takes a village to move. And I am so fortunate to be among the many who always been a front line to fight for our voice, to fight for our rights, and to fight for everything that we do here. Can you imagine? Imagine, and I deeply believe that everything must start from our backyard, and then before we can do anything else. So this election, her election for Vanndearlyn is a very important. Like I said, it's gonna pave the way, and it's gonna show the status that how many people is interested in this election, and I mean how many our brother and sister who are Cambodian Americans, because this will lead the fight to the 2020 for whoever run for the candidate. So it is very important again for all of us who live in that four city I mentioned earlier: city of Signal Hill, city of Long Beach, city of San Pedro, and city of Catalina Island. We all must come together and show up, because that is going to be a history day for Cambodians. Because I've been there for a few times, but instead of helping our own blood, we help other people. I've been there and casting my vote for my American friends, my Latino friends, and the most I could see each time that we went there, about 5 or 6 people max. So this election for Vanndearlyn Vong on the January 12th will set, and trust me, you will see a headline the next day from the press, because there's going to be a lot of Cambodians going to show up that day, and hopefully we can send a signal. We can send a signal to the entire city, as well as the state, that we are no longer quiet. We're no longer quiet, and we're going to make our voice heard, and we will continue to do just that. Thank you.
Thank you for your encouragement. Vanndearlyn, is it I correctly spell your name? Vanndearlyn. Vanndearlyn. Okay, I'm sorry. Vanndearlyn, you're young, and we, as our generation, we're a little bit over a little bit late in terms of engagement in politics. And however, we looking at younger generation, and we love to see younger generation involved in politics. How you send the message to appeal to them to actively engage in politics?
How do I send a message to the other generations? Was that the question? Hello?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying is, we very proud of you, especially since you're very young. And my question to you is, because we would love to see younger generation to stay engaged in politics. So what your message to appeal to them to actively engage in politics? Because as you know, the politics create policy, and create policy affect the community. And their engagement is super neat.
My message to appeal to our entire community, not just between the different generations, but for our whole community, this is our chance to reclaim our power. You think you're powerless, but you're not. You forfeit your power by not voting. Because when you don't vote, that means you're not including your voice in the policy that happens from that vote. So it's extremely crucial to be politically involved. I know sometimes it bores people to talk about politics, but it affects every single part of our lives. It affects the type of housing we can have. It affects your parking. It affects the food that your children are given at school. These are things that are extremely crucial to not just us as Khmer people, but I think just us as humans. We should care about the policy that shapes our lives. So if you don't know how to get involved, you can always reach out to me or Boo Charles. I am working in Councilman Roberto Uranga's office here. Reach out to me if you ever need anything. I know there are also, our community organizations have been really good about engaging people in politics, especially young people. So I'd like to give a shout out to Khmer Girls in Action, or KGA. They've been doing really good work, investing in youth particularly. So if you ever want to get involved, our organizations in Long Beach are here for you.
Would love to learn from him. Yes. So how was he doing in his election, Bong? Okay. Ice. I see. Well, that's understandable, Bong, because where he lived, the location have a lot to do. Yeah.
I can't hear Boo.
He's basically he ran as a Republican, and his district is a totally blue whale. So, that's really tough for him though. Okay, because he's a little bit late. Yeah, anyway, we keep continues our discussion about the important message that Vanndearlyn would love to appeal to our young Khmer American out there, especially they live around the whole city. And their engagement is so important to the community. Is not only community but themselves, because like I said again and again, election has consequences because they create policy, and policy have affect the whole community. So the engagement very important. Let me go back to Bong Chang Song a little bit more. So what's your message to appeal to our younger generation to engage?
I'll do my best to share that part with your question, Bong. I think it is very important. Again, I going back to this election. Can you imagine Vanndearlyn win this election? And it is important because I think where we came from, our background have a lot to do with everything that we do. Because for the past 40-some years, the thing that the parents have gone through in depth, the fears in this young generation. And we could see that every day here. We could see that every day here. When we talk about advocacy, we're talking about, then we lose some of that voices. So the way to encourage our young generation is for our generation have a miscommunication in between. So I think the way to encourage this young generation is nothing more than to build the trust between our generation and their generation to complete the missing gap between the two. So this election here will, at least, I think, that prove to them that you have to have passion. You have to give all your dedication. Third, you have to be brave. You have to be brave. It's just like Vanndearlyn did. A 19-year-old throw herself in the big arena. This is not easy. This is not easy. So because of her bravery, her perseverance, she earned a great deal of my respect, and I have to give my hat to her. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you a lot about for your nice words. Now let's go back to Vanndearlyn a little bit more, because we would love to get to know you more and more, and especially introduce to our community here. We a little bit dividing about Cambodian politics anyway. I hope that people both sides can understand that the election in United States is very crucial for our community. And so what is your message to them, regardless they are pro opposition, regardless they are pro the ruling party in Cambodia? Can you what kind of message would you love to appeal to them to unify on your candidate on your election day?
Sure. First I want to echo Boo Charles's message about trust between the different generations. Regardless of political party, regardless of, how you lean, we all, I would venture to say, sort of had the same experiences with my mom's generation, with the Khmer Rouge, and then my generation sort of grappling to understand how that affects our lives now. So for the people in my generation, the second generation born here in America, I urge you to try to understand our history, because when you learn about how Angkor Wat was built, about the rock and roll we had in the 60s, it instills such a great pride in you. But then when you learn about the Khmer Rouge and how that was all wiped away, all of that potential that we as a community had, as a people, I think, well, for me, I felt angry about it. So you really need to understand what your parents went through.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, now we have another candidate to join us. Here we go. Uh, Visna, how are you doing? You hear us, Visna? Okay. So you hear us, right?
I hear you guys. I have a little bit of an echo in the background. I'm not sure why,
It's echoing.
but yeah, there's
Right.
some echoing. One of the
Can you use your headphone?
yeah. Let me try and use the headphone here.
Okay.
Hold on, just a minute.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing fine. All right. Xin
you hear me?
Xin Vanndearlyn, she some reason she disconnected, so
No, I'm
let's talk with Visna and Bong Chang. So
Can you hear her? Can everybody hear me? Okay.
yeah, we hear you. Yeah. We apologize a little bit disconnected. We have a technical issues over here, and I hope you guys can understand. We are not in TV production. We try to do the best we can. Try to understand people hope what we're doing here. Which now. The last question we asking Bong Chang Song as well as Vanndearlyn, because she's very young, she ran for office, and we love to see our younger generation to actively involved in politics in America. And the last question, the first question regarding that, what message would you love to appeal on that? And second part of that is. In America, our Khmer American community divided between pro ruling party in Cambodia and the opposition party in Cambodia. So, how you send a message to unify them to focus on the election in United States?
Stepping up and really paving
You
the
hear
way
us,
for the
Visna?
community. I hear you. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Bongy Ball, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I guess. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Go ahead.
All right. So first, I want to extend my gratitude and heartfelt thankfulness to Vanndearlyn for getting involved and paves the way for Long Beach. Being over there in Long Beach, I see that we have such a big Cambodian community, and it's so sad that we don't take advantage of it.
Exactly.
And Phu Charles said it right. He said we were out there helping other folks get elected, but we weren't helping ourselves. And so when I see Vanndearlyn step up, I was so happy. I was so proud of her, even though we're in the opposite party. So she's a Democrat and I'm a Republican, but that doesn't matter because all politics are local. All politics are local. And when politics are local, you vote on the person, you do not vote on the party. You vote on the person who best represents your ideas, who best stands for principles that align with yours, and who's best going to help the community the way you think they're going to be able to help the community. So unlike my politics, where you have the CPP and the CNRP who are constantly going at each other's throats, in America, even though we are from opposite sides of the table, the aisle, we can still work with each other and we keep things very, very civil. So that's the great thing about American politics that I love. And my advice for Vanndearlyn is stay out of my politics. Stay as far away as you can from Khmer politics because it's not for the faint of heart. It's a little bit more cutthroat, and I hate to say it's a little bit more uncivil. But um, stick stick to your platform, stick to your beliefs. If you fight for your community, if you fight for your community, and you don't betray their trust, and you do it because you absolutely believe in your cause and it aligns with your community, there's nothing anyone can do to fault you. People are always going to love you, and people are always going to respect you. Am I coming through?
Yeah, that's good. So, do you have any question to her? Would you love to share your experience with her, because you ran office for 2 times, right? 2016 and 2018. You have a lot of experience in terms of engagement with voters and in terms of sending your message to voters. So, like I said again, focus on the question is about the people, our younger generation here in America, because the population in Long Beach City, there's the largest Khmer American population in United States, represent the whole Cambodia. So, but looking at the voting record, they are lack of it. They still far away from it in terms of engaging voting process. So, what your message to them? And again, try to help her out and try to how to get them out, go to vote for her. And also for Vanndearlyn, again and again, your message is so important. How you gonna be politely invite them, appeal to them, say, hey, it's time to go out to vote, to exercise your rights, because it's very important for your community, again, for your parents, for themselves.
I think my advice is you don't be afraid to engage anybody, even if they don't believe in your campaign, or even if they're part of the other party. Be willing to engage everybody, and be willing to accept criticism. Be willing to get involved in deep conversations. Just let them know where you come from. You can still walk away from a debate, from an argument, from a conversation, and still respect each other. That's number one rule you got to instill in yourself, is that you have to be able to respect the person that you're engaged with. Knock on doors. When I ran in 2016, 2018, knock on doors. Build yourself a great team. It's great that the town committees are going to be there to help you. You got to be able to build yourself a great team and get people around you who believe in you. That includes your family, includes your closest friends, but you got to knock on doors. And my advice is bring up a subject that they can, especially with the Khmer community, bring up a subject that they can relate to. And which is why earlier I asked a question about affordable housing. How does affordable housing affect the Khmer community? Me being over there in Long Beach a few times, I see that we have quite a few of our folks in low-income housing, probably in Hood Vash, Section 8, what have you. But talk to them how you can help them get affordable housing, how affordable housing is good for the Khmer community, and steps that they can take to move out of affordable housing and get onto the next tier in the social stratosphere. But you got to be able to relate to them. Talk about things that they can understand, like jobs. My whole platform here was the economy, jobs, and education. So one of the biggest issues we have in Connecticut was cost tuition constantly going up. And the reason why it was going up was because we had a board of regents. We did away with the board of advisors that was made up of university president, and we created a board of regents where 12 to 18 advisors, each with their staff of 6 to 20. But those 12 to 18 advisors were getting paid 6 figures, over $100,000. So that and their administrative staff are paid $60,000. So that adds to the budget. And when that adds to the budget, it takes away, when that adds to the budget, they have to find ways to pay for those positions. So cost tuition was going up. So that caught the strings of a lot of younger voters. And my numbers from if you compare 2016 to 2018, my percentage went up. So I had much more people who voted and supported me. Unfortunately, we didn't get the numbers we wanted, but the fact that we brought up a subject that they can relate to, okay, that affects their daily livelihood, was the reason why my numbers went up, my polling numbers went up. So I figured, you just got to keep on going. When it comes to campaigning, you got to keep on going. But the fact remains is that politics is local, and you got to knock on doors. You got to reach out to the Khmer community. You got to go to the events, let them see who you are, let them know who you are. Even if it's at an event that are supported by the opposite party, just go out there, fly your flag, be strong, be courageous, be friendly, smile, and the best thing you can do is ask for their vote. Ask them to vote for you. Everyone still there?
Vanndearlyn, do you have any to add on that?
And encouraging me, despite being from the opposite party. Yeah, it's great that at least here there's still the spirit of working across the aisle to work on the issues. We're not attacking each other's party. It's about the things that affect all of us, despite what you believe. In terms of telling people to vote, I've been texting and messaging my friends like crazy. I think I've annoyed them, but yeah, I've been telling people, like the parking situation for the day, and, we'll provide refreshments, and yeah.
But guess what? You're there. You're there to get votes. You're there to let them know that you are the person who wants to represent them and that your plans are great. So even if it annoys them, even if you have to call them multiple times, do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it, because you will get those votes. They're going to remember. Not a lot across America, not a lot of people get involved in local elections. They don't see the benefit of them, especially in local government. In local government, they don't see the benefit. What they don't understand is that local government comes up with ordinances, like the parking situation. I heard you say something about parking. Local ordinances affect parking. Local ordinances affects private property. If you own private property, it's the local government when it comes to mill rates, okay? And the mill rates is part of the equation when people do their taxes to see how much they owe in the property tax. That is local government. So that's what you have to reach out and let the folks know, people who own property in Long Beach. If you have car taxes, in Connecticut, that's local government collects the car taxes. But you got to get them to see what local government does for them. Parks, education, schooling, building, zoning, that's all local government. If they can see that and they can see how that affects their life, it doesn't matter how many phone calls you think annoys them, but those phone calls will be to your benefit.
Let me bring back Bong Chang Song. Okay, I think this young men and young women, they are grown up here. They understand the system over here. Like you about my age, might be all the same thing. So we came here. I came here in 2000 already. So it's like a new for me. I still dream in Cambodia, by the way. So because you Bong Chang Song, you so actively engaged with local politics, especially you work closely with Congressman Alan Lowenthal. How you would like? How do you share your experience with our community and send a message to our people at your age or at older age? Just come out and stay engaged in local politics because it's so important to them, so important to their children.
Thank you, Lowiebol. Before I share this, I want to make sure that my brother and sister do understand, or if I happen to make them feel good, I want to make them understand this. In every community, not just the Cambodian community, they are divided, just like us. The only difference is when you are having a small community and you are divided, that is when you have a problem. Now, it is important to know came to this almost 30 some years ago. So those of you who are here as the first wave, you spend most of your lives here in America. Your kids were born here. I'm pretty sure that maybe local Vietnam probably born here. Vanndearlyn for one born here. So until we, again, engage in what we are doing here and to better understand whatever the issue here, back here in our backyard. And one thing, now what we've been doing, we are going to ask someone else to help us. And I would think that you agree with me that if we help our own to put in a position that if we need them, we go to them. I honestly believe that the help would come, much more easier than we go to them. And not to say that they're not helping us, but it's always helpful to get it from our own. So this election is very important because Vanndearlyn, as well as her father, as well as myself, we work both sides, left and right. We ask them to put everything aside to focus on what's important, and that is to make sure that Vanndearlyn will win the election on January 12th.
That sounds good, Vong. Now we would love to have Vanndearlyn have a final word because we already a little bit late because of technical issues. What your final message to our community?
To our community, know that you have power and your power rests in your vote. So when it comes to any election, the one on the 12th, for 2020, whatever, know that it's absolutely imperative that you vote, always. You need to have your voice heard. It doesn't matter which subject it is, you should research the issue on the ballot, the person. Are they worthy of your vote? Do you really believe in them? Do you think they will actually represent what your needs are? Because you deserve a representative that cares, that knows the issues, and that will work with you, not for you on the issues.
Could you just tell the date and the time again?
Election day is this Saturday, January 12th, at 3888 Cherry Avenue. Voting will take place 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
All right, thank you. What about Visna? Would you have any final word here?
Yeah. Some slide to put chart and you kite but my. I was born in Cambodia. I was raised in America here. I know people can't tell because I don't have the typical accent. But January 12th. So I really want to help Vanndearlyn out here. So my please, even if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this next in a couple of days, is to please, people in Long Beach, California, go out and vote. All right, vote. I'm a Republican. I'm on the opposite side, but I support Vanndearlyn because I want to see a young, powerful Cambodian woman make it into politics, make it into the local council.
Bong Chang, Song, you have any final word before we go?
I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate that, Bong. It's important to let our folks know. Again, if you live in the city of Signal Hills, city of Long Beach, city of San Pedro, Carolina Island, the date is the January 12th, 2018. It's on a Saturday, and it is a small window for all of us to go to. And should you need any help at all, any assistance, especially for our elders, if you need carpools, you need any information at all, you know where to reach. I'm on my Facebook. although I don't use the Instagram. Or you could call me directly. I'd be more than happy to do this. Knowing that Vanndearlyn is it's not my daughter, but she's one of our own. Now it's been a long time. We assist the mayor to win the election. We assist other people to win the seat. We assist other measure to be on the ballot and pass. This is the times. This is the time that we must come together, united as one, and put one our own to have a secure seat represent the Democratic Party here in California, particularly in the 70th district. And once again, I want to take this opportunity to give my thanks to Lok Vibol for his leadership, leading the Khmer American Alliance organization. I know it's difficult. You are facing many greater challenge, and what you are doing, all I can tell you is keep on doing what you do. And this is not, you're right, this is not professional, but you are doing great. You are doing great. Thank you very much, Bob.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate for your encouragement, and I thank you all of you that joined today. I think it's a good start, and we will do more. So we can learn more, we can share the knowledge and information, share our experience with our community, and especially our younger generation to get actively involved in politics, because I said again and again, so important, so crucial that they have to stay engaged in politics, because politics create policy, and policy have affect their community, themselves. So their engagement is superhero. Again, I greatly appreciate all of you for joining today. We're looking forward to the next meeting. Greatly appreciate. Goodbye.
Thank you.
But again ខ្ញុំសូមយកឱកាសនេះថ្លែងអំណរគុណដល់បងប្អូនយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានតាមដានស្ដាប់ជាមួយនឹងរូបខ្ញុំបាទទូយបលប្រធាននៃអង្គការសម្ព័ន្ធមិត្តខ្មែរអាមេរិកអរគុណសាជាថ្មីហើយយើងជួបគ្នាលើកក្រោយទៀតបាទសូមអរគុណហើយសូមជម្រាបលាបាទ